Welcome to Narrations, where stories come alive through voice and memory. Tonight, we step into the wistful, bittersweet world of Sweet November, a love story that doesn't just touch your heart, but quietly reshapes it. It's a film about time, loss, and the beauty of moments that can't last forever, a reminder that sometimes, 1 month can change a lifetime. Nelson Moss is a man who doesn't stop to breathe. He's the kind of person who wakes up with his phone in one hand and his life in the other, always in a hurry, always chasing something. In the slick, polished world of advertising, Nelson is sharp, confident, and utterly alone. He's brilliant at selling illusions, cars, slogans, lifestyles, but beneath that composure lies a man defined by deadlines and detachment. Then comes the day that changes everything. It's just another ordinary morning in San Francisco, drenched in sunlight and noise. Nelson drives to take a professional test, an exam where the rules are clear and emotions are irrelevant. But fate, as it often does, has other plans. A quirky woman named Sara sits beside him during the test. She's whimsical, radiant, and completely unbothered by the rigid seriousness of everyone else in the room. While Nelson is armed with pens and precision, Sara shows up with charm and chaos. When she's caught helping another test taker, Nelson's rigid sense of order collides with her free-spirited rebellion, and in a twist of irony, she gets disqualified because of him. Later that day, she finds him again, in the most unexpected way. Sara shows up at his workplace, vibrant as ever, wrapped in a scarf that flutters like a declaration of independence. She confronts him not with anger, but curiosity. "You owe me," she says playfully. And then, with complete sincerity, she asks him for something absurd, to spend 1 month with her. Just November. Nelson laughs it off. He has no time for random women or strange requests. He has meetings, clients, ambitions, a meticulously scheduled life. But something about Sara lingers, her laughter, her confidence, her mystery. She isn't asking for love, just time. And so, in a decision that makes no sense to him, he says yes. Sara's world is everything Nelson's isn't. Her apartment is a sanctuary of warmth, mismatched furniture, scattered candles, the smell of cinnamon and rain. There are no clocks ticking, no suits hanging, no deadlines on the wall. It's a world of spontaneity, where breakfast can turn into a dance and silence feels safe. She has strange rules. No work calls. No talk about the future. No plans after November. Every month, she invites a man into her life, not for romance in the traditional sense, but for healing. She helps them rediscover what they've lost: laughter, courage, meaning. She becomes their light, and when the month ends, they move on, changed, restored. Nelson doesn't believe in any of that. Not at first. But Sara, she's like gravity. Slowly, she pulls him in. Their days unfold like poetry. One morning, she drags him to watch the sunrise over the bay. Another day, she gets him to skip a meeting and feed stray dogs instead. They play games, they fight, they tease each other, and in those moments, Nelson begins to unravel. The man who once lived through screens and schedules starts to live through laughter and silence. One night, after an argument, Nelson finally asks the question that's been haunting him: why she does this. Why 1 month? Why men who always leave? Sara just smiles faintly and says, "Because a month is long enough to fall in love, and short enough to remember it forever." It's cryptic, but there's pain behind her eyes, a quiet sorrow that she hides with laughter. Days melt into nights. And somewhere between the first cup of coffee and the last evening stroll, Nelson falls in love. Not in a burst, but in fragments. Her laughter, her stubbornness, the way she dances in the rain without caring who's watching. He confesses it, awkwardly at first. But Sara stops him. "No promises, Nelson. Just November." Still, love doesn't need permission. But love, as beautiful as it is, has shadows. Sara begins to tire easily. Her radiant energy falters. She hides her pain, her medication, her trembling hands. Nelson notices, but she brushes it off, always smiling, always pretending. Until one day, he finds the truth. Sara is dying. She's been sick for a long time, and November isn't a random month, it's what she has left to give. The revelation shatters him. He begs her to fight, to get treatment, to stay. But Sara isn't interested in hospitals or pity. She wants to live, fully, freely, for as long as she can. Her way. Nelson struggles between love and helplessness. He wants to save her, but she's not asking to be saved. She's asking to be remembered, as she is now, before pain wins. The rest of November becomes a symphony of emotions. They share everything: laughter, tears, silence. They decorate for Thanksgiving, dance barefoot in the kitchen, and write each other silly notes. Every day becomes a goodbye disguised as a memory. One evening, Sara takes Nelson to a bridge overlooking the city. The lights shimmer like broken stars. "Promise me," she says softly, "you'll live your life. You'll smile. You'll love again." He can't promise that, not yet. But he holds her hand anyway, knowing the clock is ticking. When the final day of November arrives, the air feels heavy. Sara packs her things quietly. Nelson pleads with her to stay, to let him take care of her. But she refuses. She wants him to remember her this way, vibrant, whole, and laughing. As she walks away, tears fall silently. The camera lingers on Nelson's face, a man transformed. The suit, the ego, the control, all gone. What's left is love. Pure, heartbreaking love. The final shot shows Sara walking down the street, sunlight filtering through the fog, fragile, fading, but still luminous. Nelson watches her until she disappears into the crowd. And then, the screen fades to black. Sweet November isn't just a love story. It's a lesson in impermanence. It asks what we would do if we only had 1 month to love, truly love, without fear or restraint. It reminds us that even fleeting connections can change us forever. Pat O'Connor's direction captures that delicate balance between life and loss, between the soft glow of romance and the shadow of mortality. Charlize Theron brings warmth and fragility to Sara, while Keanu Reeves plays Nelson with restrained emotion, a man learning to live through love rather than logic. The movie may divide audiences. Some find it too sentimental, others too sad, but that's exactly why it lingers. Because love, when stripped of time and reason, is never neat. It's messy, painful, and utterly beautiful. And that's Sweet November, 2001, a story of love found too late and remembered forever. If you've ever loved someone who changed your life, even for a brief moment, this film will stay with you. Thanks for watching Narrations, where stories breathe again through voice and memory. If you felt this story touch your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic retellings that bring movies back to life. And if you haven't yet, go watch Sweet November, and let it remind you what love really means.